Well, hello, Dixie Belle paint fans. How are you today? It is Melissa coming to you live from the Top Drawer RVA, where I am live every Wednesday on the Dixie Belle paint page at 3 p.m. EST to sit on the floor and play with some paint and have some fun. So welcome, thank you for joining me today. If you are a new follower, if you are a new watcher, please drop a comment below. Let me know where you're watching from. I'd love to see. And as always, I'm always on the floor playing with paint and doing fabulous things and fun and fabulous things, and I have some really cool new products to play with today. So I wanted to get on here as a continuation from last week when we painted this little chest together, and let's do some fun stuff. What do you say? Are you up for it today? So let's begin. All right, so last week, if you joined me here on the Dixie Belle paint page, we painted this cute little chest, and we talked a little bit about what we were going to do this week with some Gemstone Mousse. Have you heard about the newest Gemstone Mousse? Have you heard? It's Dixie Belle's newest product, and it is premiering, I believe, November 5th. So last week, when we worked on this little chest together, I kind of told you that we were going to do a little giveaway today, but guess what? Dixie Belle had a slight change of plans, and the giveaway for the Gemstone Mousse will now be between November 11th and November 18th, so you're going to have to come back and join then. But you get to hang out with me today, still talk about all the Gemstone Mousse, and still see all the fun and fabulous things that we can do with it. So, shall we jump on in? Dixie Belle has joined me today, and they are with me to answer any questions that you might have as I go along today. So if I miss it, they will hop on and let you know the answer. All right, let's dive in, shall we? We shall. This is the newest Gemstone Mousse, and it is in its new packaging with its new label, and it's super fancy, and I'm super excited. If you're a follower of the Top Drawer RVA, you know that I like shiny things. I like to be extra, paint extra, do shiny things, do all fun and fabulous things, and this is going to help me do that. So let me show you, first of all, the colors that we're going to be working with today, and then we will get started on this little chest. Hey, Mr. Mike, how are you today? Nice to see you watching. All right, so as of next month, Dixie Belle will be releasing 4 Gemstone Mousse colors. 4, okay? There might be more coming later on, but there will be a lot of new things coming up in the next little while. You're gonna keep an eye out for the new stencils, which we're gonna use today, so you can get a sneak peek of those. There might be some more colors of the Gemstone Mousse. And then in January, we're gonna be releasing the new Silk line, which is the new all-in-one mineral paint, which is quite fabulous. I love that too. So stay tuned. There's big, beautiful things happening with Dixie Belle, and you want to be in the know, so you better come back and watch. So the colors today that the new Gemstone Mousse will be released in are 4 colors. We have Gemstone Mousse in Golden Gem, which is a beautiful gold color, okay? We have Gemstone Mousse in Diamond, which is super sparkly silver. We also have Gemstone Mousse in the new Red Garnet, gorgeous. And, of course, the Gemstone Mousse in Amber, which is a beautiful coppery color. So today we are going to play with pigments and accents and do all sorts of fun and fabulous things in this little chest. So let me catch you up. If you didn't tune in last week, you might not have seen me paint this. And I'm gonna tell you what we did last week in order to prepare you for what we're gonna do today. All right, sound like a plan? So last week, live here on the Dixie Belle paint page, I was painting this cute little chest. I painted this chest in a couple different colors. We had antebellum blue, which you can kind of see coming in around the edges. We moved into palmetto. We did a little bit of kudzu in the middle. There's like a little ombre fade. And then gently on the edges, we touched in some bunker blue just to give it a little bit more oomph, to give it a little bit more color right on the edges. So this is a tiny wood chest that had already been previously painted. So to prepare it for paint, I cleaned it with White Lightning and then used my Boss in Clear to make sure that my piece would be ready for paint, not have any bleed through. Who knows what kind of paint was on there before. Now it's ready to go. So you can see some blue tape on here, right? See that fancy pants blue tape? It's just painter's tape, it's nothing fancy. So we are going to do some stripes today. And we're gonna talk about the Gemstone Mousse, and I'm gonna show you how I like to use this product. Since the Dixie Belle brand ambassadors were sent this already, we've been playing and touching and getting our hot little hands on all the good stuff so that we can come to you and show you the best way and the easiest way to use these new products, all right? So let's do it, all right. Hello everybody watching. Hi Debbie. All right, painter's tape is on this surface. I'm gonna tell you something that I have learned about Gemstone Mousse. The new Dixie Belle Gemstone Mousse is a water-based product, okay? Normally when you use a oil-based product, which is the usual gilding wax, and Dixie Belle is coming out with new gilding waxes in a new formulation. They're going to be even creamier and better than before. These are oil-based products. These always go on last. You have the option to do these last, but if you are sealing over top of these water-based products, you must make sure that this product is dry before you're sealing over top of it, okay? Because since this is a water-based product, if it's not dry all the way and you go and put a sealer on there, you are going to kind of reactivate it. You might actually blur a line or blur an edge that you don't want to do. So you need to be prepared to know that this is an eco-friendly, non-toxic, water-based product that needs to, in my personal opinion, be sealed first. So today I sealed this entire piece in clear coat in flat. This is going to allow me to put the new Gemstone Mousse directly on top of my project. And then if I want to later, I can seal over top of it, or I can just leave it as is, because this will cure within a couple days. You know, they say cures within 24 hours. I always like to leave my waxes to cure for at least 2 days before I know that they're really strong and really on there well. So I also will be applying some Would You Bend moldings today to this piece. But I wanted to show you, I've painted my Would You Bend molding in Gold Digger, which is a beautiful moonshine metallic, before I put it on my piece. So this has been painted in the gorgeous moonshine metallics in Gold Digger here on my floor. And the reason I did that is because I want to do stripes under this beautiful molding. So once we complete these stripes and get them on, we're going to apply this Would You Bend molding over top of the stripes, and it's going to give you a really cool effect without having to, say, get like a small brush and get into all the details. I'm showing you the tips and tricks of the trade so that you can learn how to take your piece to the next level, make it look super fabulous without having to get in here and paint a lot of details around a lot of work. So by painting this gold, before you adhere this to the piece, you can do a stencil or stripes underneath and then put your piece over top, and it looks like $1,000,000. It looks so good. So the question is, since this is gold, I'm not going to use gold under. Do I use, and I don't want to do silver, because even though silver and gold is cute, I don't want to do it on the front. We'll do it on the side. What color should I put underneath onto my stripes? So it will be under this gold Would You Bend and over top of this beautiful green mix that I have on my piece. What do you think is going to look better? The red, the new red garnet, or the amber, which is kind of like a beautiful copper? I'm asking y'all. I always like to get everybody involved in my videos and give me their advice. What do you think is better for me to put on underneath my Would You Bend molding? Gold? Under the gold molding should be copper or red? I'm gonna wait for you to catch up. I know there's a time lag. I'm gonna see all the comments coming in below. Hey Erin, what's your advice? What do you think I should put underneath the molding onto the stripes? Red or bronze? Could go either way, could go either way. I see one vote for amber. Let's see, we'll give it a few minutes and see what pops in there. I kind of was thinking amber too. I mean, I like the red, but again, a lot going on. Maybe we should keep the front a little bit more neutral and do this gorgeous amber underneath. What do you think? Red might be too much. Somebody else is reading my mind. Now Joanne's saying red, Lorraine's saying red. What do you think? Should we do like an eeny, meeny, miny, mo? I'm making an executive decision. Let's do this one underneath. Now Heather's even saying red. You guys think I should do red? That is gonna, all right, fine. Red, you win, I'll do it. Let's open up this brand new jar of Gemstone Mousse. So Gemstone Mousse is technically a mousse. Can you see how creamy and gorgeous it is? You can apply this product with your finger. You can apply it with a sponge. You can apply it with a brush. It is entirely up to you. Oh, Debbie said red looks like too much like Christmas. Well, technically almost Christmas. This could be a Christmas box. Somebody says amber. She doesn't like this open. Want me to open them up? Don't worry, I'm gonna use all of these mousses on this project so that you can see every single one together. Let's open them both up side by side so you can actually see the pigment. And then we'll pick, because I'm seeing a lot of people saying, no, red, don't do red. See this? I don't want to tip it because it is a liquid. It will pour out. Faye says, yikes, amber. Let's do amber. All right, we'll switch it up. We'll do the red on the side, okay? We don't want to get too crazy in here. I mean, I'm all about the crazy paint, but you know, we don't want to be too crazy. So it is suggested to shake your gemstone mousse very well before you use it. If you cannot shake it, you should stir it or whip it very well before you use it. I like to use these little tools that come in my little paint packages, and I buy these brushes and they come in there, and I like to mix it all up. So you can either mix it, because you will feel it. It kind of has a thicker consistency on the bottom. You want to mix it, stir it, whip it up. It is a mousse. It's light, it's airy, it's pretty. It's definitely different than a wax. It's more like a paint, okay? Let's see. See that? See that beautiful color? How do you want to apply this today? Well, there's a couple different ways. Like I said, you can use a brush, you can use a foam brush, you can use your finger. I'm going to show you what I like to do. I'm going to take a tiny little foam brush, okay? And believe it or not, dollar stores are selling like packs of 5 of these, which I use all the time and then just throw them away. I put my painter's tape on here in a striped manner, okay? Let's put on this gorgeous, beautiful gemstone mousse in amber. I'm gonna dip my sponge in, and it does look like paint. Like it's gonna go on very heavy pigmented, very pretty color. But I'm gonna show you what I like to do. Making sure my tape is stuck down, I'm gonna come in and basically paint it on, because really it is a thicker product. By putting it on with your finger, you can get a lighter application. You could even use a tiny little brush. Let's use a brush and show you how it works with a brush. Okay, so even a little brush comes in here. So now you can see how this mousse goes on, super shimmery, super pretty, okay? It's your choice. Do you want to make it thicker? If you want to make it thicker, you're probably going to want to apply a couple layers. By applying a couple layers, you're going to build up that pigment, that beautiful, deep, rich pigment, this metallic pigment, and you're going to see it change. By adding the layers, once it gets dry, you're able to do that. But I don't mind that. I don't mind painting it on in one layer, and this is what I like to do. Let's put this little brush down here, try not to make a mess, and show you that shimmer. Can you see that shine? Can you see how rich? Look at that. Oh my gosh, it's so heavily pigmented. It is gorgeous, y'all. It's gorgeous. Now this is what I like to do. See how I only tape down like 3/4 of the way? What I want to do is kind of fade it out, okay? You've seen people do stripes before. CC Restyled is the queen of doing faded stripes. This is what I have learned about this metallic gemstone mousse. Since it's wet right now and this is a water-based product, you can move it around. You can get in there, get dirty, play with your paint, have some fun. Watch what happens. I'm gonna get a paper towel on hand, okay? Because if it does run down too far, I'm gonna mop it up. I don't want it to get everywhere. But you can turn this little gemstone mousse into almost like a kind of a paste that goes down and fades out into nothing. And I'm gonna show you how to do it. And we'll go from there. Hey, Cheryl, I see my friend Cheryl's watching. This is my spray misting bottle filled with water, okay? We're just gonna hit it with the water. Not a lot, and this is what you can do now. Watch how we're gonna fade it out. You can run it down your piece. You can use your little sponge and fade it down this way. You can use this mousse in a different consistency than the gilding wax used to be in. So I like this kind of like faded out, disappearing stripe on the front. You just decide how you want to do it. Do you really want to spray it a lot? Like, do you want it to be super drippy and come all the way down? Do you want it to be less? It's entirely up to you how you want to do this. So I like to kind of touch this pigment and drag it down. So when I do peel off my tape, which I will do on here because we're going to be applying a wood bend molding over top, it's just kind of faded out and dripped into nothing. You can see how it runs down here, but you can easily just kind of blot it off and then it's just going to disappear. So now this gemstone mousse has gone from super heavy pigment to like a medium pigment, fading down into nothing. So let's do a couple stripes, and then by doing these stripes we're able to show you how the wood bend will work over top, okay? So I'm going to paint them on and get them on here. And there's doorbells ringing, kids are home, kids are playing outside. You have to excuse the chaos, okay? Let me just do this, paint around the harbor. Remember, this harbor does not come off. It is stuck on there. So I'm gonna work around it, and I'm actually probably gonna even add some gold to it. So we're just gonna move it down. You can feel where the water was before I sprayed over top of my tape. And we're just gonna paint these on. So what are you thinking? Are you loving this mousse? Isn't it pretty? I think that the shine and the pigment is just so nice. And the availability to kind of paint it on you're gonna be able to do a lot more detail-wise and get a different look than you're used to with the waxes. But it's super duper pigmented and fun to use. I really like it. Easy peasy. What do we think? So who's going to be buying the new mousse when it comes out next month? I'm thinking that there's going to be a big response, especially since we haven't had gilding wax for so long. People are craving something shiny. We're missing the shine in our lives, the sparkle. So it is going to be released to the premium retailers first, and then after they've had it for a little bit, you're going to be able to get it online or from your local retailer. So see that? It's that beautiful mousse. One more stripe and then we're going to fade them all down into nothing. Make sure my tape is stuck on there. And then we're going to move along and we're going to do some stencils. And what else should we do? Apply the would you bend. What do you say? Sound like a plan? So I know I'm jumping the gun since they're not out yet, but I feel like everybody wants to see something before they try it. And by learning how I use this product is going to let you have a better grasp on how you can use this product. That's what my job is, being a brand ambassador, helping you learn to use Dixie Belle paint products. And I love it. It's a great job. It's so much fun. You're buying every color? I know. I will be too, trust me. All right, so I'm gonna take my my spray mixing bottle, and I'm gonna spray these bottoms. Remember, we wanna kind of fade them out into nothing. I'm just gonna pull it with water because it is wet right now, right? So it's kind of still a little bit activated. And we're just gonna fade these stripes down the piece so that when I peel off this tape, this shimmer and this shine will fade down into nothing. And then we're gonna do stencils. I'll probably even do stencils over top of this. Okay, perfection. So now you've seen what the amber looks like. Let me move it out of the way and close the lid so I don't spill it. It's precious material. I don't want to sit on it or spill it on the floor. And I'm going to start to turn this so that you can start to see the shine and shimmer. See that? I've got it on wheels. Hopefully I won't drop it. See that gorgeous copper? The pigment is absolutely amazing. It's really easy to use, super user-friendly. And I think that it's going to be very popular. So let's peel off my stripes so that you can see exactly what I was doing underneath. And now when I add my would you bend molding, you're going to be able to see where the would you bend molding sits over top of these beautiful stripes in the front. Because this is kind of like a little bit of a toy box, I feel like. You know, it's not very big, but it is solid wood. And I think it'll be a cute little feature in somebody's room. So let's move this over. So I can see one spot where my tape did not stick well and it got a little bit underneath, but because it's still wet and it is water-based, you're easily able to wipe it and clean it up. It's not hard. You're able to just really move it around. So check that out. What do we think about that gorgeousness right there? Isn't that pretty? So pretty, so shiny. Like the reflective properties of this mousse, it's a lot shinier than the gilding wax. It's just a different beast. It's a totally different beast to use. You're gonna have to figure out how you like to use it and how you're gonna play with it. But for accents and details, this is gonna be thebomb.com. All right, so we have a would you bend on the floor. Would you bends are bendable stainable moldings that are available here on the Dixie Belle paint page. You can purchase them under tools. I did include a link above my head. So if you were looking to purchase any would you bend moldings, Dixie Belle carries, I believe, I want to say 30, but for some reason I saw 50 somewhere else, exclusive designs that you can only get from the Dixie Belle paint page. So this little molding is available on the Dixie Belle paint page. Right now, yes, it is flat. Yes, it is painted. I'm going to show you how I'm going to stick it right here on this piece. And then we're going to get out some stencils and we're going to play with that as well. What do you say? Sound like a plan? Hello, Patricia. How are you? All right, so like you know, like I told you before, would you bend moldings can be painted before you put them on or after you put them on. Because I wanted to do this heavy detail underneath, and I'm probably gonna come in after it dries and add some dirt, add some darkness to the piece, maybe some wax. I wanted to make sure that I could paint this before so that it is beautiful. I'm gonna show you another little trick that you can do with these moldings before you put them on, okay? So if you're gonna be using black wax in your piece, but you don't know if you want to put your black wax everywhere, you're going to be able to take your black wax. This is your easy peasy black wax, okay? And I like to use a makeup brush. This is just a makeup brush, nothing fancy. And I'm going to show you how to accent this gorgeous Would You Bend molding before I even put it onto the piece, before I even heat it up. I'm going to take my wax and I'm going to put it into all of these little creases, okay? By putting it into all of these little corners and crevices, because this is why I love Would You Bend. The detail is crazy pants amazing. I always feel like Would You Bend dresses up your pieces so well, takes them to a whole nother level. So you can see this heavy application of wax on the piece, okay? You're gonna take this now, and you can either use a baby wipe, which I have on the floor, but they're a little bit far away, I can't reach them, or a paper towel. You can wet it if you like, because Dixie Belle wax is a water-based wax. And I'm gonna wipe it back now. Let's wipe it back and take off the excess amount of wax. So when you're wiping this back, the wax is gonna sit into the crevices, and you're gonna have the ability to have that heavy shine and the detail on there without even having to black wax your piece yet. You don't even have to do the whole piece. You can just do your Would You Bend molding. Getting the wax in the crevices just ages it up that little tiny bit. Can you see now how it makes that detail just pop? That detail looks so good now. So how do you put your Would You Bend moldings on? Well, I'm gonna show you how. So you're gonna need a heat gun and or a hair dryer or a grill. People even use those little tiny grills for making pancakes, a griddle. I'm just making sure I have holes here on my glue. I'm forever getting ready to use my glue and realizing like it's glued shut. And then you have to poke it with something sharp in order to open it back up. Let's do that. So you're gonna need a heat gun and or a hair dryer to put that on your piece. Come on. All right, well, I guess I'm gonna open my glue. Painting live problems. It's glued shut, so I'm gonna open it up. So you're gonna need glue, you're gonna need a heat gun, you're gonna need your Would You Bend. You can have tape on hand if you felt like using tape. It's pretty stuck on when you stick it on. You're not really gonna have to worry about that. So you're gonna see how I'm gonna put this on. So I've flipped over my molding, my Would You Bend molding. I'm gonna flip it over and I'm gonna heat up the back end of it here on the floor because it is gonna be hot, so I can't hold it, okay? I'm gonna use my heat gun on the floor and it's gonna get a little loud. But we're gonna heat up the back for just a quick minute. It doesn't take very long. And when you're heating up the product, you're ensuring that it's truly flat when you're sticking it on your piece, okay? It becomes bendable and malleable and movable. You could curve it around the edges. It is an amazing product, okay? So when it's cold, it's hard. When it's warm, it's bendy. It's super bendy. So I'm gonna take let's see, do I have a brush on the floor? I'm gonna take my glue and I'm gonna brush it on the back of this piece. Why? Because my glue wouldn't open, so I'm just gonna brush it on. Once you put your glue on the back, you're gonna wanna make sure that you hit all of the little edges. You don't wanna put a ton on there, you just wanna make sure that you've covered all of your bases. The reason why you're heating it up is because really no surface is truly flat. And these little Would You Bends could have been a little bit bendy in transit. They could have gotten warm and warped a little bit and not be truly flat. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you've heated it up so it's bendable and malleable. You've applied your wood glue, which you can get from that link on the Dixie Belle paint page as well. And I'm just gonna line it up right here in the center of this piece and put it down. Once it's on your piece, you're going to want to heat it up again. You're heating it up again to ensure that it's flat to the surface. I just like to hold it for a quick minute just to make sure that I know it's really stuck on there. And this is a really great way to dress up your piece. So I'm gonna heat it up one more time. Not too long. By heating it up, I now know that my piece is flat on there, it's stuck on there, and if it wasn't painted, you could go right ahead and start painting right over top of it if you wish. But I know that it's stuck on there and it's painted. I'm gonna give it a little tape, just a little safety right there for me to know that it's held all the way. Let's find some new tape so that we don't get sitting on it, so we don't get paint all over it. I'm always sitting on everything. You should see my floor right now. There's like 11 billion things on the floor. So now my Would You Bend molding is gonna sit here, adhere to the piece. We're gonna turn the sides and we're gonna play with some stencils and some new Gemstone Mousse. What do you say? You think Amber was a better choice? It was my first choice, not gonna lie. It was. I was trying to be a follower, not a leader. Don't be a sheep, people. Make up your own decisions. Make up your own decisions. So I like this. It's far from done. I will definitely be adding black wax and doing all sorts of fabulous things, but I want to show you some stencils and some amazing more things that the mousse can do. All right. Plus I want to show you every single color just because I think it's fun. So Dixie Belle is releasing 3 new stencils next month, I believe. If it's not next month, it's very, very soon after. The 3 stencils that are going to be available, this one, and one that is a houndstooth, okay? I've used the houndstooth to death already, and it's not any longer, it's not working well. I didn't wipe it off, and it got really gummy. So I'll be ordering one too when you guys are. So these 2 stencils that are available right here will be coming out on the Dixie Belle paint page very soon. Hold your horses, stay tuned. It will happen, just be patient, I swear. Okay, so why do I want to put a stencil on the side? Well, number one, I want to show you all the Gemstone Mousse and all the beautiful colors that we have here. There is hardware that's going to go back on the piece here. There's kind of like 2 handles, but I want to kind of do some shadowy stencils. So this is a good way for me to show you all the colors. So why don't we open that red? That was the second choice for everybody, okay? The new Gemstone Mousse in Garnet is this beautiful red. I'm actually going to put the lid back on, remember, because you really want to shake these. Shake them, shake them, shake them up. If you can't shake them, you're going to want to stir, stir, stir. You really want to make sure that they are whipped and ready to go. Because they are water, they're going to settle. They're going to settle in the container, and you want it to be whipped and beautiful, okay? So you can do this in a couple different ways too. You could use a stencil brush. You could use a foam brush. You could use a regular paintbrush. You could use your beautiful brush here that to do like anything you want to do to put these on here. What I like to do, again, going by my habits here, these little foam brushes, you can wash them, you can throw them out, but I like to use these for stencils. So let's do some shadowy stencils, shall we? I don't think I want to stencil the whole thing because that's a lot. That is a lot of stencil, right? Plus that's a lot going on. I kind of want to do these little shadowy ghost stencils. So let's add some of this beautiful red over here. You could spray the back of your stencils with an adhesive spray if you like. I'm not going to. I don't feel the need. I'm just going to dip my foam applicator into the new Garnet Gemstone Mousse, and we're going to dab it on and make like a shadowy stencil similar to the stripes that we did on the front, okay? So I'm just going to be blotting this on, getting it over top of this gorgeous antebellum, this really pretty kudzu, and I'm mixing some palmetto as well. So I've kind of got this really kind of fun little green base going on underneath. I could even come in here afterwards and add some gorgeous gold leaf. Wouldn't the gold leaf be pretty too? But you could do stripes underneath this if you wanted to tape it off. You can just gently blot it on like I'm doing. I just want to make these beautiful kind of shadowy stencils. I chose this piece just so that I could show you all the new Gemstone Mousse colors. I figured blue is the best neutral to go underneath kind of all of them. Okay, let's come up a little bit higher. I feel like I want to come up here on this little curve. Anywhere there's a curve on a piece always takes such a beautiful shine and shimmer. If you wanted to dampen this, say with your spray misting bottle, which is over here, by dampening it, because this is a water-based product, I'm able to kind of fade it out a little bit more on the edges. It's not going to be as strong of a pigment. And you can even spray this after it's on here and make it run down, which would look super cool. All right. I think this is all I wanted to do. Ready? Ta-da! There is your peek of the newest gorgeous Garnet. Look at that pretty stencil. See that shimmer? Seriously, so gorgeous, so pretty, so fun. Like I really love a faded out stencil, and this is good. This is gonna do it for me. You're gonna see a lot of stuff on this little tiny piece. I might have to paint over it when I'm done. What should we put over here? You want to put some gold? Let's play with some gold too. So now we're gonna try the Gemstone Mousse in Golden Gem. Again, almost forgot to shake it. I keep telling y'all, you gotta shake it, and I didn't shake it. So shake, shake, shake. Woo! So pretty. Look at that pigment. So what's the difference between the mousse and the waxes? I'm gonna show you exactly right now, okay? Like I said, the mousse is a water-based product, right? Yeah, I keep putting everything on the floor, glasses, paintbrushes. I don't even know where anything is anymore. There's a screwdriver on my lap. Like, I mean, I could not be any more of a hot mess, but this is how we roll. So, totally distracted. Gemstone Mousse is water-based, okay? It's a liquid. It's more of a paintable item. The wax, this is the new wax that's going to be coming out soon. This is an oil-based product. This is thicker. This is creamier. This is a little bit more pigmented. It's going to go on the edges a little bit more different than if you were painting on the Gemstone Mousse. So they both have a place, but they do different things. So this would be last on your project with the Gemstone Mousse. You could kind of like get in here, wet it up and move it around. You can't really do that with this piece, with this wax. It's just a different product. So let's get another little sponge because I have a bunch on the floor. Let's see. This one might be too big, but I think it might be the only one I have. And then let's do some more stencils, shall we? We're gonna mash them together. Copper and gold. Well, this is a beautiful red, so let's add some gold with this red. So I'm just going to take another section of my stencil. I'm going to do this one. Let's see if I can tip this piece. I think I can tip it without it falling over. I'm going to say probably not, but we're going to try. Look at that. Nothing fell over. I want to do the gold down here at the base. So I'm going to take another brush and I'm going to use my Gemstone Mousse in the beautiful golden gem, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did to the red because I want you to be able to see what it looks like. I'm not going to lie, the gold's totally my favorite. I'm a gold girl. I like the gold. And you can see how I'm really not using that much of it. Like, look how little I'm putting on there. Little amount. You really don't need a ton. Because it is so highly pigmented, you're able to really move it around and get a beautiful shine. So this, up here is the garnet, and down here is the gold. You can do the same thing with the new gilding wax as well, but I would be using a brush. I wouldn't be using a sponge. So let's peel this off and show you this gorgeous gold. So pretty, right? See how it just moves and shines? Super, super pretty. So there you go. Now you've seen 3 out of the 4 colors. Should we do the silver on here? Should we turn it around? Let's do it on the other side. Let's move this little piece over here and do a tiny bit of the silver so that you can see all 3 colors. So again, shake, shake, shake. You can hear it. Hear my mic? It's liquid. It's liquid in there. It's a mousse. I'm gonna open it up, and I'm sure I have 1 more brush on the floor. I made sure I had 4 on the floor. So let's add right about here, shall we? Let's do the silver. So this is called diamond. And the diamond is very, very pigmented as well. I'm just gonna blot it on. I mean, wouldn't this be gorgeous using this in a stencil over top of the whole entire piece? Like if you had a dresser top, oh my gosh, it would be so stunning. Again, you can see how little amount I'm putting on my brush. I'm really not using a whole ton of the mousse. I'm just using a tiny, tiny bit. A little goes a long way with this stuff. That's why it's in such a tiny container. It's highly pigmented. and you're able to do a lot. Oh, there goes the puppy dogs barking. Everybody's hanging out today. All right, I'm gonna peel this back and show you the silver. Once again, I'm gonna tip it so that you can see the shine. Look at that. Wouldn't this be gorgeous on the top of a whole dresser? Absolutely gorgeous. It'd be so pretty. So, what else can I show you today? Let's show you, I'm gonna work here and do some black wax. Let's go back to the front and do some black wax. Let's see if this is dry enough. Now see, this is still pretty tacky, but I'm gonna hit it with my heat gun, and then we're gonna move some black wax around here on the front of this piece too. I can also do it down here on the bottom. I can also add some gold to this gorgeous hardware as well. Okay, so I'm gonna add black wax to accentuate this detail. I also put on some beautiful Black Magic Voodoo gel stain down here because I feel like there's a couple different ways to age this piece and make it look older, and then you could learn how to do it too. So let me open this up because I know it's a new one. Put this on the floor and let's age it up. What do we think of the mousses? Your granddaughter likes to hit the heart buttons. That's okay, I like the hearts. I like the hearts. So what is this piece? It's a really weird little box. It's a really cute little wooden box. I mean, I don't even need this tape on here so I can take this off. This is holding up my woodgie bed. This actually opens up and you could put toys in here. You could do a ton of stuff with storage, but hello, look at that shine when I move the lid. So gorgeous, look at that. Absolutely beautiful. So let's add some aging into the piece on the edges, and I'm going to show you how you can do that. There's a couple different ways you can age, and I really like to dirty things up when I have metallics because it is bright. I mean, this is a lot. I'm going to be adding these little shadowy stencils all over the piece, and then the hardware is going to go on the back. I'm going to do the same thing on the top. So I feel like aging is kind of like, it's the yin and the yang, right? Like you need to balance it out a little bit. So I've got this Best Stain Wax in black, and I've got an old makeup brush, and I'm going to put it into the edges. So when you rub on your waxes, you can either do them like this and then wipe them back, because I have already clear coated this, right? So you're gonna take I like to use a damp, either a damp baby wipe or a regular paper towel. But by wiping back the excess, you're allowing it to sit in the edges like this and just deepen and darken the edges. Can you see how beautiful that is? See that nice darkness? So you can do that with your wax, or you can do that with your Voodoo gel stain. So I'm going to show you two ways to do it. So let's continue on this side, and then I'm going to show you the other way on the other side. So here you go, adding this gorgeous wax in here and putting it in, and then wiping it back. Just adding that really pretty little detail. But sealing it first really does help kind of lock in, so your paint's able to stay on solid. You're not going to wipe back your paint. You're able to move your waxes around and get this really pretty aged look. I really like it. I think that you really do need to balance when you add all these metallics. You really do need to add a little bit of darkness. So this is one way to add darkness to your edges. You can use your Best Stain Wax in black. You can apply it with a brush or a sponge, and then you can wipe it back. So this is going to happen all the way around the front and all the way up here, even over top of my beautiful, now look, I touched it. It wasn't dry. Over top of my Gemstone Mousse. But this needs to be dry before I do that. So now you can see that in this short little time, this isn't dry. It's going to take a little bit longer. It's going to take that full 24 hours to cure and harden up. So this will be a work in progress. Let me show you how I would darken something up using my Voodoo gel stain. So this is Voodoo gel stain in Black Magic, okay? Comes in a couple different colors that I like to use for aging. You can use your, look how well loved this bottle is. You can use your Tobacco Road. You can use your Black Magic. You can use a couple different things on your pieces to dirt it up a little bit. You know me, I like to make things dirty. So you're probably gonna wanna get a plate. So I have a couple paper plates on the floor, and I'm just gonna dump some out and shake it out onto this. So you can see that it's a liquid. It's thinner. You do need to shake it up. It is a water-based product, move it around. So by using it like this, there's a couple different ways you can put it on, okay? You can take a paintbrush and paint it on, almost like a glaze. And it's hard to see, but it is on there. It is dark. And then you could wipe it back to provide that just that little bit of depth inside the corners. I do this a lot with my yellow. When I use Colonel Mustard, I use a lot of Voodoo in black to really deepen those colors. But it's almost like you're using a black wash. See how it's just that little bit darker? And then by wiping it back, you're able to give it almost like a glazed world look. So yes, I know right now it's hard to see, but when this dries, it gets even darker and it gives you a really pretty look. What do you think? Now you've learned two different ways to add shading dimension to your piece. I think by far, my favorite might be Dixie Dirt, which I do have on the floor. Would you like to learn a third way to add some depth and some charm to your piece? Let me see if I can reach all of the fancy pants things that I need to do that. Look, we need this, we need this, we need this. You're in luck, it's all on the floor. This is why I'm a hot mess. If you have all the mess around you on the floor, you can just reach everything. And then you're able to do all of the things. So, you've learned how to use black wax. You've learned how to use the black magic gel stain. You could also use Tobacco Road. Both of them are very easy to kind of wipe on like a glaze. The third way to add some depth and dimension to your piece, and I think I might have to, I can use paper towel. We'll make it work with paper towel. I usually use my baby wipes, but they are a little bit far out on the floor and I don't want to grab them, so we'll use paper towel. So the third way to do it is with your Dixie Dirt. Have you tried Dixie Dirt before? Dixie Dirt is probably one of my most used products. It's literally a pigment inside the jar. You can see it. It comes in a couple different colors. There's earth, there's charcoal, there's a really pretty gray, and this is another way to dirt up your piece, okay? And this is how I do it. You're gonna need your easy peasy spray wax or your regular clear wax. Because it's a powder, it's not gonna stick onto anything without something else adhering it to the piece, okay? So I've got my Dixie Belle Easy Peasy Spray Wax, and I'm gonna spray the corner. The paper towel is to kind of blot off the excess because you don't need the whole thing wet. You really only want it super wet where you're working. You could use a couple different brushes. I like to use a Belle brush. So the Belle brush is nice because it's a natural bristle brush, and I'm gonna dip it into the charcoal. Now here's the trick. Don't go directly from here onto here. You're gonna wanna kind of blot it off because it's gonna stick. It's gonna stick inside these little bristles and get everywhere. So now, while your wax is still wet, okay, you're going to kind of brush it on. Once you get it where you want it to go, what you're going to start to do is do these little kind of small circles, okay? I like the small circles because it kind of fades it out. It fades out the dirt and makes it look truly authentically dirty. See this fade right here? And this, by far, is the easiest way for me to dirt up a piece and make it look really authentic and dirty. Can you see how gorgeous that darkness is? Especially with that stencil being right there. I mean, oh my gosh, I'm dying now to do that stencil with the new mousse over top of the whole piece. I need to find a piece now that I'm gonna do a beautiful shine like that because, oh my gosh, that looks so good. That looks so good. So, this is how I apply my dirt. You want to see one more time? You're going to just take it. You're going to blot it back because you don't need it everywhere, right? Just kind of want it on the edges. You're going to dip your brush into the pigment and you're going to kind of brush it on where you want it to go. Then you're going to circular motions, pull that dirt out. By using this circular motion, noisy. You're going to be able to move this dirt and add the darkness, which always looks so good, really on anything, because sometimes stuff is just too bright. You just need that little bit of darkness on your piece. So good, right? Super good. What do you think? Do you think you could do that? I think you can. So that is pretty much all I wanted to do today and show you about how to apply your Gemstone Mousse, how to use a couple different products, whether it be your Dixie Dirt, your Voodoo Gel Stain. You could use your Best Dang Wax in Black. There's a couple different ways you could do to age things up, but by far, this kind of faded out finish looks the best to me. I really, really like that. So once these get dry, I'm gonna come in and continue that around all of these edges. And I'm gonna add some more gold, I think, on the front because this gold and this needs some more gold down here. Should we add a little bit of gold stencil down here on the front? I think I need some more gold. I mean, can you really ever have enough gold? I don't think so. It's my jam. I put it on everything. Let's add some gold stencil to the front, just down here in the corner where I know it's gonna look super good. We're gonna fade it in, okay? I'm gonna go back to my Gemstone Mousse in the beautiful golden gem and blot some on here. Let's blot it on here. Noisy outside. People are cutting trees down. So I'm using my foam applicator pad and just gently, like the littlest amount. I'm actually wiping some of it off to add on. Some shine and some shimmer to the front of this piece. Perfection, that's way better. Okay, so I'm gonna be adding a little bit more gold. I feel like it needs to pull gold from what is already on there to balance it out. Look at that. Oh my gosh, it's looking so cute. I'm glad you needed the tutorial for the dirt. Listen, if you need a longer tutorial, please feel free to check my Facebook page. I do paint a lot of things live. There is quite a bit of information on my Facebook page. You can always check Dixie Belle's YouTube channel as well. They have a ton of informative videos, as well as my YouTube channel. I'm on all social media as the Top Drawer RVA. You can find me doing things live. You can find me painting. You can find me crafting. Always doing something messy, sitting on the floor, putting my fingers in all the stuff. I'm gonna actually even take some of this mousse and like rub it into the hardware, because how pretty is that? Like, I feel like I'm gonna be, you know what? Don't be surprised when you see this mousse on everything that I do for like the next 5 months, because I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with the gold. I'm obsessed with the shimmer. I really like this product. It's user-friendly, it's fast, and I think that you could probably even recondition your hardware with it, because it's going on like a dream, and I'm just wiping it on with my finger. So cute. Look at that. Super cute. My name, are you looking for my name, Joanne? My name is Melissa. I am the owner and artist at the Top Drawer RVA. I am Dixie Belle's newest brand ambassador, and I am live here every Wednesday on the Dixie Belle paint page, getting messy, playing with paint. So I hope you learned something today. I will quickly go over the products to use, so that if you were looking to order anything, you can click the link above my head, remembering that the new mousses will not be available until November 4th, and then they will be available from your premier retailer and moving along down the chain from the retailers to the website. So today I highlighted all the Gemstone Mousse. There is 4 being released. We have a beautiful garnet, we have amber, we have the new golden gem, and we have this really highly pigmented silver, which is called diamond. You can apply them with your finger, a brush, or a foam brush. They will take 24 hours to cure. They are a water-based product, and they are very highly pigmented. You're gonna really like them. The base of this project is painted in antebellum blue, a touch of Bunker Hill. I've got palmetto, a little bit of kudzu, and we did apply a wood bend molding today, which is available under tools on the Dixie Belle website. You can then find these under tools, order what you like to stick them on. Remember to apply them. You're gonna need some glue and a hot heat gun and or a blow dryer in order to mold them to your piece. But that, y'all, is pretty much all I can take you for today. I need some stuff to dry, but I have a feeling the next time you see this little piece, it's gonna be covered in stencils. I'm gonna gild all the edges in gold. It's gonna be fun and fabulous and all the things. So I hope you liked it. I hope you got a great sneak peek, a great glimpse of all the newest products that are coming out from Dixie Belle, because you're gonna really like them. And FYI, the stencil that I did use will be coming out on the Dixie Belle paint page as well. It'll be coming out very soon. Stay tuned. I'll remind you all, if you take a minute to follow my page, I will definitely go on there and let you know when things are dropping into the website and you can order them. All right? Any questions, feel free to send me a message. I'm always around to help, and I will see you next week at 3 with a brand new project, painting all the things, sitting on the floor, playing with paint. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Bye.